ears that I have ever had the opportunity to see. That is simply a wonder. Would you mind if I may be so terribly bold? Would you mind if I get a closer look? Oh, but of course, that's why you're here. Well, just for aesthetics' sake, I'd like to look at them not as a medical professional, but as an appreciator of the pinna. Would you mind? Wonderful. Just stay still. Oh, my stars. The proportion of the lobe to the helix, the positioning of the tragus, and the angle with the antitragus. I have never seen something so gorgeous. Never. Not once. And I've been doing this quite a long time. I think I am truly awestruck. Truly. Now, let's go ahead and put on the air of professionalism. And what is it that I am seeing you here for today? Absolutely wonderful. So I get to have a look in these just artistically perfect, objectively incredible ears. I get to have a real up close and personal look. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, I think. And what is it that has prompted you for this visit? Ah, I see. So we're going to have to get real up close and personal. I see. Well, let's go ahead and just take a peek here. I see you don't really have too much of a history of ear problems, and I imagine with those wonderful specimens that you probably wouldn't, but is there anything you can think of that perhaps you did not mention? I'll keep that in mind as we go forward. Now, for this examination, I'm going to have to get rather touchy with the ears, but nothing else. Do I have your permission to do that? Wonderful. So, let's just do a spot of inspection here. So, tell me a little bit about how your symptoms developed, how long they've been going on, and kind of the history of what you've been experiencing. I see. That is interesting. Well, that does ring some bells. So, working hypothesis, but I will absolutely do a thorough examination regardless, as I want to make doubly sure. We don't want anything of harm to come to these brilliant ears. Now, upon external inspection, not seeing too much that might affect my hypothesis or add anything else, but I'm going to take a look behind the ears as well. Taking a look behind the ears. And the other side. Taking a little peek here, and I'm not seeing anything that I would be concerned about on the skin. I'm going to do a little bit of palpation as well. Feel if there is anything that should not be there, or if there's any pain or tenderness that should not be there. Do let me know if at any point you experience any pain or discomfort. And I'm going to start down at the lobes. My gosh, they even have, the texture of your ears. That is unmatched. I'm not sure what it is you do about your ears, but whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. Okay. Is any of this causing any pain at all? Okay. Just want to double check. I don't want you to feel like if anything doesn't feel right, just let me know. Anything at all. Even around the head a bit. The pre-auricular nodes right in here. Get into the parotid gland right here. And post-auricular nodes right in here. Okay. Even the mastoid process. Anything with this. And if I stretch the ears a bit, if I tug on them a little, like right here, is there any discomfort in that? You have some quite flexible cartilage. It's not too thin, not too thick. Just the right amount of thickness, I would think, for an ear. press in a bit on the tragus. Even on the antitragus. And I'm going to do a little bit of pushing into the concha. Let me know if there's any pain here. No. So the outer ear is about perfect, yeah? It's just mostly in the ear canal. Now, before I move on to getting into the ear canal with the otoscope, I wonder if you might allow me to measure the ears. It's just, I've never had ears with these just incredible proportions, and I'd like to record it somewhere as a reminder that it does indeed exist, and I did indeed see it at one point. Yes, it's nothing too invasive, it's just a little retractable tape, and I would just be very gently measuring around. Yes, it would make this go a little faster. Okay. Then let me just, I have a bit too much slack, I think. There, about 6 inches should do just fine. And if I come to the top here, no, a perfect 2.75 inches tall. And what about the other side? And it's the exact same. 2 3/4 inch long. And what about the width? Let me see if I just put this right by the tragus, and then 1.5 inches wide, clean. 1.5 inches wide. I must record this. I wonder how far it comes out from the head. So if I put this right here, we have the depth. 0.75 inches. And if I line this up here, you've made my whole year. Sincerely. 0.75 inches between the furthest part of the helix to the head. I might take just a couple miscellaneous measurements, if you don't mind. And let's see. What about the tragus here? Do we have 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch? What about the lobe? 1 inch. 1 inch. And the helix. And 3 inches. I'm gonna have to stop there. I could measure these ears all day. I don't know if I can allow you to leave this office. I mean, really, if I had enough time, I could perhaps photograph them, make a mold of them, could 3D print them. Really, the possibilities they're quite endless. But you came here for a reason, and I shall fulfill that reason, if only so that I just may see these absolutely fantastic ears once more grace this office. Let's get the otoscope ready. And a new speculum. There. And let's go ahead and take a peek inside the ears. Now, I am going to be quite gingerly about this, but I'm going to pull up and back on the top of the pinna so that I can straighten the ear canal. And just going to press very gently and look into the ear canal, and once I'm situated there, so this will not move, and I can get a good look. So firstly, we have quite a bit of redness in the immediate opening, and I'm just going to readjust a bit. If I just do something there. Yes, so we've certainly got some irritation here. I think that is going to be our culprit. And in addition to that, it looks like we do have a bit of cerumen, not more than I would be concerned with, but it does seem to be pushed towards the tympanic membrane. Now, I'd actually like to take a look at the other ear real quick so that I can see if this is something that is present on just one ear or if it's present on both, as that may indicate what we've got going on. So I'm going to pull up and back on the other ear. And we're just going to, there we go. So we do have the redness present here as well. And as far as the cerumen is concerned, there is a bit less, but it is more towards the back. Now my concern here is that we're seeing the beginnings of a potential impaction, and we don't want that. So we'll have to address the cause of this before this goes anywhere else, regardless of what it is that you came here for. Now I'm going to come back to this ear. Now this time I can get a much better look at the ear. So, tympanic membranes have just the most beautiful color. They're this somewhat transparent sort of, it's called pearly gray, but I don't know that does the color justice, really. It's a beautiful color, and looks like we've got no sign of perforation, no bulging, there's no iridescence, and really am enjoying the bit of light that comes back. It's known as the cone of light, a little bit of reflection. And we can also see the tip of the malleus right behind the tympanic membrane. And I would like to see it on the other side as well. Pull up, back, and just right in here. There we are. Now we've got good color, good coloration, and here we are. So, cone of light. So good. So other than the redness on the entrance of the canal and the bit of cerumen, looks like everything else looks pretty good. Now, as far as your complaint and your symptoms, so what I have an inkling may be going on. Do you happen to wear earbuds a lot? Do you happen to listen to a lot of music or a lot of podcasts, audiobooks, anything of the sort, gameplays, what have you? Okay, and do you do that with the earbuds? Okay, so what I'm thinking here is there are a couple of possibilities. First, the earbuds, the little shell that fits in the ear, silicone-y, rubbery material, that may not be getting cleaned enough and is irritating the ear. Another thing we could be doing is pushing them in too far, and that could be causing irritation right at the entrance. Another thing we have that could be going on, I don't know if you go to bed with your earbuds in, but that also can be a contributor, as a lot of times when we sleep, as your jaw works, the ear is a self-cleaning mechanism, and that's what the cerumen or the earwax is for. And if it can't escape because you're spending 6, 8, 10, what have you, hours with something blocking the ear canal, there's going to be some issues. And what I would recommend for that is there are headbands that have Bluetooth speakers in them that you can wear for sleep, so that might be an option. Last thing that could be going on, we could be having our sound too loud, and that is helping to contribute to the issue. So the ears also use cerumen a bit like kind of a defense mechanism of sorts. If you're in an area or you experience loud sounds, the ear may make more cerumen in an effort to muffle the sound. And if you're pushing in earbuds, you're pushing that back towards the tympanic membrane, towards the eardrum. Now, these are all possibilities, but I don't know the entire story about what you have been doing with the ears. So do any of those sound like they might be part of what's contributing to the issue? Okay, so certainly might be a couple of things. All right, so then it's just a matter of lifestyle changes. If we do not address it and keep doing the same thing, we can get an impaction of earwax, and we might have an infection as well. So this is something that we want to address. This isn't something we want to just let fall to the wayside. What we can do is, we could use over-the-ear earphones, but you may also amp the volume up a bit to compensate for not having it directly in the ear. So we'd have to be cautious of that. We can also clean the earbuds regularly, with just a bit of alcohol and a cotton bud. We could not wear our earphones at night, or invest in one of those sleep headbands. And we can also not push them in so far. Believe me, I know how infuriating it can be when you're really into something and you keep hearing the little squeaking of the earbud trying to work itself out of the ear, and you keep pressing it back in, keeps coming back out. I know. But the more you press in, the more you irritate that area. Now, ideally, I would have you forsake the earbuds for the time being while the ear heals. For at least a few days, maybe up to a week, okay? But otherwise, you can certainly get different headphones or listen to things without the earbuds. I know that's not always possible, but that would be our ideal situation. Now, since we've addressed that, would you mind? Would you mind if I took another little peek inside the ears? Took another little look. I just don't think I got quite a good enough look at a bit of the malleus and cone of light, the color of the ear. I think I needed a little bit more to just imprint it on the brain. Perfect, yeah. Oh. Yeah, I suppose I could knock a little bit off the top. No, you're right, I have kept you a little longer than would be necessary, and that is on me. I drive a hard bargain, but I think that may be reasonable. It'll have to be worth my while, though. Okay. I'll get the otoscope ready, and I'll get a little look. I'm gonna pull up and back. And right there. There we are. So I'm going to just, there we go. Much better. I'm going to be here for a minute, so I want to be as comfortable as possible. Just utterly fascinating. I see quite a few ears in this office. I know I mentioned that, but I cannot stress enough that, I've gotten quite a few interesting sorts of ears, and that is absolutely wonderful to see, but it's something quite different when there are, for all intents and purposes, perfect. And even, this ear canal is quite smooth. I'm not seeing any little bits, divots, or anything like that. It's not often that the human body is perfectly smooth. Not very often at all. I think, if we have the gold, and we have the tip of the malleus, we have, okay, I suppose. Right. I suppose I will move on to the next ear. Pull up
perhaps it might seem odd, but you see, the ears are just so much more complex than we give them credit for. I mean, their very shape is designed to funnel sound into the ear so that we can interpret all these vibrations as sound. I mean, considering just how the anatomy formed, and it's a work of art, really. I mean, it's a similar thing if you've ever seen in a cat or a dog's ears, all the little structures. I mean, just ears in general. They are these wonders of evolution. It's just incredible. So much so that one uses the word incredible so very often. But that's the best way I can describe it, I think. Well, we have the ear canal. We have the tympanic membrane. We have the malleus gonoplate.
And I suppose that is certainly well enough for me. Now, I'd like to just jot a bit down about your actual case, not about your ears. So, are there any other questions you might have regarding the ears? And perhaps another opportunity for me to look at them? Well, I mean, at least I got the time that I did. I will sign off on your chart here. And I suppose that concludes the appointment. Now, since this did go quite a bit over, I think I can acquiesce to the request that we take a little bit off the top, absolutely. And may I just put forth that if I were to give a discount in the future, would you consider coming back so that I may gaze upon these pinnas once more? Only if I do not call them pinnas. Absolutely done. I can do that. How about oracle? That's kind of weird too. Ears can suffice, absolutely. Now, you could make another appointment for, let's say, a month from now. And we can see if addressing the earbud situation and the lifestyle changes, if that helps. And if it doesn't, we can do a bit of a deeper dive and see if there's anything else going on. And if there are any complications, pain, if it doesn't seem to go away, you're more than welcome to call the office and make another appointment. Otherwise, perhaps I see you back in another 6 months or so. It's up to you. We'll play it by ear. I see. Well, with that, I'd like to thank you so much for coming into my office. I had really too much of a good time. I think think you have ruined me for the rest of my appointments, but it was excellent nonetheless. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I create primarily medical, alternative medicine / pseudoscience, and personal attention ASMR roleplays. If you want to check out a specific category of my videos, my channel playlists have everything from sci-fi to historical to even fantasy videos. If you want to support my work, consider checking out my Patreon profile in the description box, where I offer early access to